I like to feed my mind with positivity. I like to learn first thing in the morning and put some good stuff in. I avoid the news and reading all the challenges and problems going on in the world, because that's going to create some stress and some anxiety as well. If you don't have a plan for your life, if you don't have a plan, you're just kind of going about your day aimlessly, then you're not going to get the most out of it. This produces alkaline water. A lot of debate about acid alkaline water. It's one of the benefits from it, but also microclusters the water molecules so that you superhydrate your cells. By laying on this, it has copper coils which radiate and create pulse electromagnetic fields that have a lot of great health benefits. First thing that I do, guys, first thing right out the gate, it sounds so simple, but it's so important. Hey, what's up everyone? This is Stefan from ProjectLifeMastery.com, and today I'm going to show you guys my morning ritual. I'm going to walk you through the exact morning routine that I do every single day to make sure that I optimize myself so that I can perform at my absolute best every single day. I'm a big believer and fan of rituals. I believe that how you start the day is how you end the day, and that if you want to get the most out of the day, you got to spend the first part of the morning to take care of you. You got to make yourself a priority. You got to do something every day, I believe, for your mind, your body, and your spirit. And so I'm going to show you guys the ritual that I have. I've actually got a checklist that I follow every day, and I'm going to walk you guys through each of them step by step by step and actually demonstrate it for you guys as well. And I believe that, rituals has been one of the keys to my success. It's what's allowed me to transform every area of my life, because if you just do something once in a while, then you're not going to change. It's what you do consistently every day. And I believe that spending the first part of your day, that morning, is the best time to condition yourself, to condition your mindset, your belief systems, to take care of your health and your body. There's certain things that you do every day that's going to lead to an abundance of energy. It's going to lead to you being in better shape. If you wake up every day reactive like most people do, and they're rushing around, they're stressed, they're hitting the snooze button, they're going to have their coffee, which I have no idea why they need that after they slept 8 hours and they're still tired. You're supposed to have the most energy when you wake up, but people need their coffee. Well, this here is my coffee. This here is my natural boost of energy that I get that allows me to get the most out of the day. A lot of people, they focus on, watching the news and the newspaper, and they're putting negative stuff in their mind. They're just starting off the day in a negative way. They got anxiety, they got stress about their life or about their day. And I believe that a ritual is really what can change that for you. Starting off the day in an empowering way, not being reactive, but being proactive. And so I've been doing these rituals since I was 17 years old. Changed my life in so many ways. I was shy, I was depressed, I was very insecure, but I spent the first part of my day just changing my beliefs, conditioning again and again. It's almost like you go to the gym to work out and you train your body so you can get bigger muscles or you can lose fat. You've also got to train your brain every day. You got to train your emotions every day. You've got to train your spiritual muscles every day. And so I put a lot into this. I kind of treat myself like a high performance athlete. If I want to get the most out of myself, I've got to have rituals that's going to allow me to do it. So I'm going to walk you guys through everything step by step. It's going to go pretty in depth, and I'm going to go through this checklist. And I like to have a checklist so that I can visually measure my progress as time goes on. I've often, again, if you don't have a plan for your life, if you don't have a plan, you're just kind of going about your day aimlessly, then you're not going to get the most out of it. In the same way, if you go to the gym and you just you don't know what you're doing, you're just picking up weights and you don't know the weight that you picked up last time, and you're not really following anything, you're not going to get that great results. So I like to have a plan. I like to write it out. I like to either have this on my whiteboard in my office, I can see it every day, or I print this out, but I like to have something visual that I can check the box every day and make sure I'm being consistent with the rituals that I have for myself. I've had things before on a file on a computer, but it's too hard to see it. I like to print it out and see it every day. I'll also mention that my ritual is actually fairly long and pretty in depth. And I understand some people don't have as much time as I have. I've got an online business, I've got freedom, I set my own schedule and whatnot. So I can understand it can be a little bit more challenging when you have a job, whatnot. You might have to wake up earlier to do some of this, but I actually have a 15-minute ritual, I've got a 30-minute ritual, and then I got an hour ritual, and I've also got rituals that even last 2 hours or more, depending on what I've got going on. Whether if I'm giving a speech that day, then I'll have rituals that will help prepare me for that. Working out sometimes takes an hour to work out at the gym, along with the other stuff that I do. So you don't have to copy what I'm doing. I'm just providing different options for you and what I do so that you guys can see that for yourself. Okay, number one, I usually sleep about 7 to 8 hours, okay? I'm a big fan of making sure you get good quality sleep. I've done other videos on how to hack and optimize your sleep. Wake up, usually actually the sun wakes me up. It's one of the amazing things about living in an apartment with a lot of natural light. So light wakes me up in the morning. First thing that I do, guys, first thing right out the gate, it sounds so simple, but it's so important, is I smile. Okay, I smile. And I can't think of a better way to start the day than smiling. Starting off the day with a sense of gratitude and appreciation, because you can never take a day of your life for granted. Every day is a gift. There's a lot of people out there that don't have the same gift, and you know, they don't have life anymore, and we have that. We've got to cherish that. We've got to appreciate it. And oftentimes people start off the day, they wake up and they're exhausted and they're tired and they're kind of, you know, trying to get the day started in such a negative way. And to be honest with you guys, I don't always feel happy or positive every day in the morning, but by training myself to smile, I'm setting the precedent for the rest of the day. I'm setting off the day in a positive way, an empowering way. And the funny thing is, just by smiling and just spending, you know, just as you're going to the bathroom and as you're brushing your teeth and as you're washing your face, just putting a smile on your face, you know, there's been a lot of studies that show that smiling biochemically changes how you feel. Your body releases, you know, endorphins and whatnot, and it gives you energy, makes you feel better. In fact, there's been a lot of studies that have been done where they'll take people that are clinically depressed and they'll just have them smile for 30 minutes a day in front of the mirror, and it's been proven to actually help alleviate a lot of the depression that they have. So smiling, guys, first thing that you should do the moment you wake up, smile, feel grateful, feel appreciative for the day. After that, I go to the bathroom, you know, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, all that standard stuff that often people do. Number two is I go upstairs, and I'll walk with you guys right now. I'm gonna walk you guys through this ritual, okay? I go upstairs and I drink water, because after you've been sleeping for 8 hours or however many hours, your body is dehydrated. The cells are craving water. So that's one of the first things that I do. By drinking water, you're going to kickstart your metabolism. You're going to get energy from that immediately. You're going to hydrate your cells. Oftentimes, you're not going to, you know, crave coffee or sugary foods and donuts and all that stuff that people put in their body, which is not starting off the day in an empowering way, in my opinion. So I come up here. This is my kitchen. So right here, I've got my water ionizer that I use, and turn it on. She talks to you, which is nice. This produces alkaline water. A lot of debate about acid alkaline water. It's one of the benefits from it, but also microclusters the water molecules so that you superhydrate your cells. Turns the water into an antioxidant. The water basically goes through 12 plates, 12 titanium plates that are double dipped in platinum, which pick up an electrical charge, just like in the same way that when water comes from the clouds and goes on the mountains and it starts going through the, you know, the rocks and minerals, and it picks up an electrical charge. This machine does the same thing. And so I usually start off my day drinking high quality filtered ionized water, usually 9.5 alkaline, and I drink this whole bottle, guys. This bottle says abundance on it. Another little subtle reminder for myself, but I drink this whole bottle, okay? Again, your body's dehydrated, it needs water, and ideally really high quality water, okay? So I drink this. I'm not gonna drink the whole bottle for you guys in this video, but I could use a drink of water. Okay, next thing that I do is I start taking a few of my supplements, okay? So one supplement that I take, you guys will see a lot of booze and stuff in my fridge. I actually don't drink alcohol very often. I often put on parties and whatnot, and people leave alcohol here. But anyways, this is apple cider vinegar. So I usually take a shot of this. Really great for you, a lot of benefits. You guys can look up the benefits. Doesn't taste that great, but start off with that. A lot of supplements that I take, I've done videos where I go more in depth in the supplements that I take, but usually the ones I take first thing in the morning on an empty stomach are enzymes, number one. So I usually take Masszymes, which by Bioptimizers. My friend Wade Lightheart, I've interviewed him, and I've been taking these for years. A lot of great benefits. But when you take enzymes on an empty stomach, you get a number of different healing benefits, building up your enzymatic reserve in your body, a lot of good benefits. I'll link to some of the stuff that I mentioned. You also want to take enzymes with your meals too to help digest it, especially as cooked or processed. But enzymes always on an empty stomach. A lot of these meals I take throughout the, or a lot of these supplements I take throughout the day because different meals that I have and whatnot, and some are better on empty stomach versus full stomach. But other ones I take are vitamin B12, vitamin D3, especially during the winter months, not getting as much sunlight. There's a number of other ones, but I've done other videos on supplements, but I make sure I do that because I talk about mind, body, spirit. This is the body element. You want to check the box, do something every day for your body. Drinking water, supplements, just those little habits. It takes hardly any time whatsoever, but what that does is over time, that's going to ensure that I'm healthy. That's going to ensure that I have energy for the day. And I don't need to depend upon caffeines and other products like that as a source of energy. So things like that, you take supplements, you drink water, you might not notice immediate benefit, but it gives you the peace of mind that you're doing the right things, that over time, your body will heal itself, your body will have more energy, it will recover, and it'll be optimized for optimal performance. All right, guys, so now we're gonna go back downstairs to my bedroom, okay? And I'll show you guys the next part of my ritual. A few things that I do here with my mindset and also my spirit as well that I'll walk you guys through. And there's more that I do for my body. I always recommend a good ritual consists of mind, body, spirit, at least one thing, but if you can do more, then that's more ideal. And as part of I've got a course called Morning Ritual Mastery that goes into over 7 days how to create a ritual for yourself that's unique and customized for yourself, that goes into a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing with you. Okay, so let's head on down. All right, guys, so we're back here in my bedroom, and the next part of my ritual is I like to read. I like to spend at least 10 minutes in the morning reading a good book. And here I've got my Kindle, which I like to read books on. I used to have a lot of paperback books. They're all in boxes now. I like to use a Kindle. It's a lot easier and simpler. But I spend at least 10 minutes a day reading, or at least read 10 pages a day of a good book. If you read just 10 pages a day, then over a month, that's 300 pages, which is a book a month. Over the course of a year, that's 12 books a year. That's just the bare minimum that I like to do. But, a lot of people, they start off their day with social media and their addictions that they have of checking their Facebook and email. And I think that's a horrible way to start the day. I think you should do that after you've done an empowering ritual like this, because I don't know about you, the moment I check my email, all of a sudden there's all these demands from other people. There's this in my business and this employee or this problem or challenge, this fire I've got to put out. And immediately what happens is you get stressed. Immediately what happens is you get some anxiety. And then once you've read those emails, now you've got to put out those fires. Now you've got to, put your attention and focus on work. And this is not the best way to do it. So I like to feed my mind with positivity. I like to learn first thing in the morning and put some good stuff in. I avoid the news and reading all the challenges and problems going on in the world, because that's going to create some stress and some anxiety as well. I still do those things, but it's more later in the day. And what I found is that when you take care of your mind first thing in the morning, then all of a sudden how you deal with challenges for the day is totally different. If I notice for myself, when I don't do a ritual, I might have challenges that happen for the day and it'll affect me. I get stressed a lot more easy. Versus when I take care of my mindset, these things just bounce off of me. They don't affect me because I'm solid, I'm strong. I've taken care of my mindset, my mind, body, and spirit, and so things don't affect me as much. So what I do is I take my Kindle here. I like to do my reading here in this chair. I'll read maybe 10 minutes, 10 pages of a good book. Also here what I've got is I got the 5-minute journal. So I also write in here. And this is great. Big fan of this because it's a simple 5-minute process that allows you to focus on the right things for your day. So for example, you put in 3 things that you're grateful for. What would make today great? You put in 3 things for that. You put in a daily affirmation that you have, and then also has an evening portion as well where you ask yourself 3 amazing things that happened today. You journal that, and how could I have made today better? So great little 5-minute process, a bare minimum that you guys could do. I've also got here the productivity planner by the same company. Similar process, a good way to plan out the day. Takes about 5 minutes, not even that, but you put in what is the most important task for the day, what are the secondary tasks of importance, additional tasks, your productivity score for the day, and they use the Pomodoro technique for that, which is great. And then for those of you that maybe are a Christian or more spiritual, this is for the spirit. I got my Christian gratitude journal as well that I also use as well. So I'll spend maybe 10 minutes doing that, maybe a little bit longer. Here next, I've got my PEMF Mat, which stands for Pulsed Electromagnetic Field or Frequencies. And by laying on this, it has copper coils which radiate and create pulsed electromagnetic fields that have a lot of great health benefits. So there's a lot of benefits to PEMF, so you guys can look it up. I'm not going to explain it all here, but this is actually a device that's used by NASA to help the astronauts when they go into space. Because a lot of astronauts, we leave Earth's magnetic field. Planet Earth is surrounded by electromagnetic field. There's a North Pole and a South Pole. It's like a magnet. And when they go into space, they're away from that. And it affects your bone density, it affects your energy, your sleep, all these different things. And there's been a lot of studies and science behind this. So I lay on this for at least 10 minutes and I do my meditation on it. And so what I'll do is I'll lay on it just like this. And there's a little device here. And I'll link to these products for you guys too, for those that are interested. But there's different quick start settings, but I usually just set it for maybe 10 minutes. You can put on the intensity of it. And then you put on what's called the Omni Brain, which basically it's good for optimizing your brain waves. So it flashes different lights. And then there's also headphones I listen to that have binaural beats. But I'll basically put it on, I'll just demonstrate it for you guys. Put it on like this, flashing lights, and based on the settings, the electromagnetic fields that I set it on, I can set it so that it's going to give me more energy, or if it's going to help me relax or be more calm or whatever it is. But again, I do my meditation here. I also can sit up straight on it as well, and sometimes I do longer meditations, but I'm a big fan of meditation because it really calms your mind. It really helps you just get rid of all those thoughts that we have that just clutter our mind constantly and create the anxiety and stress, and just get yourself in the present moment. And then also it's a great ritual to really help you have more control of your thoughts, or less reactive to them, less attachment to your thoughts. And so there's a lot of different meditation practices that you can do, but I usually just do at least 10 minutes morning. Sometimes I do it in the evening as well, and it helps me relax and throughout the day. Or sometimes if I'm a little bit stressed out or I got a lot going on, I'll just lay on here for 10 minutes. Often when I do my events or seminars here, if there's breaks, I'll come down and this just recharges me. 10 minutes on this just gives me a ton of energy. So a lot of cool benefits. The binaural beats is great too because it helps activate different brain waves, which are useful as well. So big fan of this. Again, I'll link to these products that I mentioned. Here I've got my journal. So I journal almost every day as well. Sometimes I do this in the evening time, but I like to just update and journal, just give up updates on what's going on in my life and challenges I'm going through, or successes and wins, and what I'm focused on right now. And I think that I'm often reminded by a great quote by Jim Rohn. He said that a life worth living is a life worth recording. And when you record your life, you can look back and look at those different moments and what you went through, the lessons that you learned. And it's a great way to get a different perspective on your life, what you're going through, because when you write it out, it just changes how you process things at a much better level. Okay, another thing I do next is I use this device. Now, what's this? This is known as the Joovv, Joovv. And what this does is it's red light therapy. And so what you do is you turn it on, it's going to get bright, and you spend 5 minutes standing in front of it. Now, when I do this, of course, you remove your clothes, so you're naked, okay, because it has to have contact with the skin. But the benefit of red light therapy is that it helps the skin produce more collagen, which is really great for anti-aging, having healthy skin. Also, it helps to increase your testosterone for men, although you've got to have your your balls a few inches away from it as well. But I'll link to their website. They have a lot of awesome science and studies, a lot more than I know about it, but I've noticed great benefits from it. And actually what you do is they have a timer here, so you set it to 5 minutes and stand in front of it. Again, ton of health benefits. All the things that I do and I invest in, I use for my life, I do them because they work. I do them because they benefit me. If they didn't, I wouldn't be spending the 5 minutes doing that, or I wouldn't be spending the time on this. So I've done the research, and more importantly, I've used them in my life, and I notice and I track and I measure the benefits, and that's why they're a part of my life and really benefit me. Okay, so let's move on to the next part of my ritual. All right, guys, so now we're in my office, and this is actually where in my office I have my checklist. So as I said, I like to visually have a checklist, writing out step by step what my morning ritual is. I find having something visually that I can see every day, I can check it off. I can, if I wasn't perfect with it, it's okay. I just want to make progress and do as much as I possibly can to ensure that I make progress. So I like to put it up on my wall, somewhere I can see it every day. And so if I were to go through the list so far, okay, smiling, okay, I check the box. Drink water, did that, and often I drink my water with a green drink too. I like to use Athletic Greens, which is a great product I mix in with the water. It's got some good health benefits for it. Take supplements and apple cider vinegar, check the box. Read at least 10 pages, check the box. Meditate on PEMF Mat, practice quieting the mind for 10 minutes, check it. Oftentimes I'll also stretch on my PEMF mat, just 5 minutes, stretching out my body, my back. A lot of great benefits for your body. The Joovv red light therapy, check the box on that. And one thing I forgot to mention with that is often when I'm doing those 5 minutes in front of the red lights, I like to practice what is called heart activation. And there's a great book called The Heart Math Solution, and they have different techniques and show the science of how when you put your hands on your hearts and you focus on breathing on your heart, and feeling grateful for your heart and grateful for different things in your life, then your brain and your heart become in sync. And it has so many incredible health benefits. And I'm a big fan of gratitude, attitude of gratitude every day. And so I like to do that while I'm standing in front of the red light therapy. If I can utilize and combine these things together in whatever way I can, that's the best way to do it. That's why I like to do my meditation on the PEMF mat, because now I'm getting two different benefits from it. I'm getting the benefit from the mat as well as the benefit of meditating on it. So I try to combine that together as much as I can. Write in my gratitude journal. Okay, that's a 5-minute journal. And then the next things I'm going to show you guys in my office. There's a few things I could show you guys right here that I have in this environment. So first, these are different things I'll maybe talk about in a different video. This is my evening ritual, okay, what I like to do before I go to bed, and this is my weekly ritual. So similar process to this, but I like to do it before I go to bed, and I'll do that in other videos. So make sure that you guys subscribe to my channel and follow along for other videos that I do like this. But one thing I have here, so you guys can see I've done things from my mind, body, and spirit so far. But I also like to use my morning ritual as an opportunity to condition my mind, my beliefs, my values, and my vision in life. I think these are all really important things to have. Your goals, your vision that you have, your values. Anytime you read and you go to read books or you go to seminars, you learn different things. You got to have a way to integrate that to your life. You got to have a way to implement it. And I've been to a lot of seminars. I learned a lot of great stuff. And I'm not sure if you guys can relate, where you learn all this great stuff and you're like, wow, this is awesome, but you don't apply it to your life. You don't do anything with it. And so whenever I learn things, I try to think, hey, how can I add this to my ritual? Maybe it's just reviewing my notes from that seminar. Maybe it's reviewing my notes from this book that I read. Maybe it's just conditioning and going over these things again and again, so that when you do it again and again every day, it becomes a part of you, becomes something that is a part of your identity and who you are. And there's no other way of doing that, in my opinion, than just doing it every day. You got to have rituals. It's like going to the gym and training your bicep. You got to do it, condition it every single week. And the same thing, you also got to condition your mindset, your beliefs, the things that you learn in your life. So some of the things I have here. So One is called asking my primary question. My primary question is actually right here, and we all have a primary question that we ask ourselves all throughout the day constantly. And oftentimes people's primary question is actually a little bit negative. It might be, why am I not good enough? Or why me? Or just negative focus on whatever you consistently ask yourself you're going to focus on, and it's going to manifest in your life. You focus on the bad, you're going to get more of that. And so the primary question is a core primary question that you ask yourself every day throughout your life. And the one that I've created for myself, my old one used to be, how can I become better? Which was a useful primary question that's guided me in my life to always becoming better. But the downside with it is there's actually a negative presupposition to that, which is that I'm not enough. And if you're always focusing on becoming better, but you're not appreciating who you are and the progress you've made, then there's a negative presupposition there that's always going to guarantee that you suffer. So my new primary question, I ask this every day, is how can I appreciate and enjoy my life even more while feeling even more fully alive and growing and making a difference? Okay, so it's a bit of a mouthful. How can I enjoy and appreciate my life even more while feeling even more fully alive, grow and make a difference in the lives of others? That question, number one, presupposes that I enjoy and appreciate my life, because it says enjoy and appreciate even more while feeling even more fully alive. So it has something in there that I want to experience more of every day, and then grow and make a difference. So I've expanded it. So when I ask that, I come up with new answers that guide me in different ways in my life and really serve me. So I ask that. I might spend a few minutes speaking out loud and really thinking about the answer to that. So another thing that I do is I review and condition my values and rules. These are the values that I've set for my life proactively. The values that you have are what's most important to you in your life. We all value different things in different hierarchy, and whatever you value is going to determine the direction of your life, the decisions that you make. I've done other videos on my YouTube channel that explain values and whatnot and how to determine those for you, for yourself, but I've got a lot here. Health, energy, love, happy and cheerful, gratitude, different values. Often I don't go through all of this in one day. I pick one. So I ask myself, okay, what is one value from this list that I have here that I want to integrate more in my life? What's one that I want to condition? So for example, let's say today I take abundance, okay? I've created an affirmation and I say to myself, I experience abundance anytime I, number one, give to others, okay? Number two, share with others anything that I've learned, know, or is it of value. Number three, focus on and remember all the incredible abundance that already exists in my life. Or number four, remember that life is abundant and there's always more available and coming my way. So I'm conditioning the value in my life, but also the rules. The rules are the beliefs that you have of what has to happen for you to feel that way. So I try to condition that, just one value a day, a positive one. And then I also try to condition what's called an away from value, which are the negative emotions that you want to avoid in your life. And I turn these into affirmations as well. So for example, let's say that I want to eliminate scarcity. I'll say to myself, and this is the belief that I condition that empowers me, I experience consistent, debilitating feelings of scarcity only if I were to consistently believe in the illusion of lack and focus excessively on myself, instead of remembering that everything in life is abundant, having faith that more is always available, and focusing on giving to others. So again, that's an empowering affirmation, empowering belief that I condition every day. And I pick different ones, but I just do one of those a day, and I like to condition it. And then often I've got my 6 human needs. If you understand the work of Tony Robbins, the 6 human needs, I like to condition love and growth and contribution every day. But I spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes a day going through that. So check the box on it. Another thing that I do is I review and I visualize what I call my ultimate vision for my life. So I'm a big believer in having a vision for your life, something you're moving towards, something that excites you, something that wakes you up early and keeps you up late. And I've got this framed here, but I'm actually gonna remove it so I can show you guys and read it. And again, I like to frame these things and have it somewhere I can see it every day. I found if I have it in a book, if I've got it in a file on my computer, it's very easy to forget about it. But if you got it framed on your wall, Every time you walk by it, every time you go to the bathroom, you see it, you remind yourself of it. So here I've got my ultimate vision and my ultimate purpose in my life. And I'll read this to you guys real quick. And I read this out loud. There's a lot of benefit when you read out loud and you speak it with emotion, with enthusiasm in your life. It just makes you feel, like, for me, I get goosebumps every time I do this and I focus on it. But what I've got here is I said that my ultimate vision for my life is to be a person who is truly a leader in the world, someone who positively impacts millions of people's lives through my incredible vision, determination, courage, passion, creativity, caring, and commitment. I constantly help improve the quality of people's lives worldwide by fulfilling my purpose in life of growing and giving. I am a multi-millionaire and successful entrepreneur that creates world-class businesses, products, and services that changes people's lives worldwide. I am financially free and live in total abundance, doing what I want with whomever I want, whenever I want. I continuously grow and evolve who I am to my maximum potential, being the best that I can be each day, while sharing my gifts with millions of people around the world through my blog, articles, videos, social media, products, services, events, and coaching. I'm a philanthropist and a force for good that's dedicated to helping those in need with areas that I'm committed to serving in, especially having funded and built over 100 houses for those that are suffering from poverty and 30 schools for children in need of proper education. I have an incredibly loving, beautiful wife that I have a passionate love affair with that is growing every day. I have an extraordinary family life with 2 children that I give unconditional love to and help shape into incredible human beings. I have a close relationship with my family that consists of incredible communication and support, which includes my mom, my dad, my brother or sister, nieces and nephews. I live in 2 multi-million-dollar homes in 2 world-class cities, an incredible penthouse in downtown Vancouver with breathtaking views, as well as a gorgeous mansion with my own private beach in California. My lifestyle consists of total freedom to travel, which includes a fun, adventurous vacation every 3 months, while enjoying a full 3 months immersed in a new part of the world every year. I'm constantly learning and expanding, attending events, seminars, reading books, and investing in products and coaches that allow me to consistently make progress in all areas of my life. I'm physically active and fit, weighing 170 pounds at 6% body fat with unstoppable energy. I've traveled the world and experienced so many amazing cultures and created incredible magic moments with the woman I love, my soulmate Tatiana. I have extraordinary friendships with friends that I'm constantly growing with, that are supportive, fun, successful, leaders, and givers that I'm sharing my experience of life with. I'm living a purpose-driven life that allows me to experience a deep sense of meaning, happiness, and fulfillment every day. I'm a master of my emotions, consistently experiencing peak levels of emotional juice and vitality, happiness, joy, laughter, fun, passion, gratitude, peace, certainty, adventure, aliveness, and fulfillment. I am a force for God. I have a deep, everlasting spiritual connection with God and my Creator. I am living my destiny. So that gives me goosebumps, guys. Focusing on that, reading it, speaking out loud, I just get energy from that every day. This is what gives me energy. This is what focuses me on why I'm doing what I do, what I'm moving towards in my life. Everything I do has a purpose. Everything I do is moving me towards the life that I want to create. I've got my ultimate purpose here. I won't read it all, but I've got my ultimate purpose in life is to humbly serve God by being a powerful and passionate example of the unlimited possibilities that life offers to any of us the moment we acknowledge and rejoice in our Creator's gifts, to sincerely love and serve in all His creations, to live life to the fullest and to create magic moments, to be fulfilled and happy on a daily basis, to live a life of peak experiences, to live a life on my terms and to never settle for anything less than I can be, do, create, or give, to be a living example of the endless possibilities of the human spirit, to be an inspiration and role model to others. And I can go on and on. But again, this gives me energy. This gives me juice. This gives me motivation and excitement. And people say, well, Steph, I'm not motivated in my life. I'm lazy. I procrastinate. Well, my answer to that is you don't have anything that excites you. You don't have a ritual in your life that's putting you in the best state, giving you the energy for the day in your life. It's almost like impossible not to be motivated after you do all the stuff that I'm sharing with you. So I usually spend 3 minutes doing that. Okay, next thing that I do, there's a few other things that I shared, but let's move more into my office. I'll show you guys some of the different technology and things that I use there. Okay, so we'll head more into my office and I'll walk you guys through it. All right, so some of the next things I do here in my office is I like to do more things for my body as well as for my mind. And like I said before, whenever I can combine two things together, then that's the most beneficial way of going about it. So here in my office, I've got a rebounder, which is a mini trampoline. And I've also got one down in my bedroom also. But I like to have it here in my office because often when I'm working throughout the day, if I need a boost of energy, I can just hop on this rebounder, and I've got, my sports memorabilia and inspirational photos and stuff that I look at that just really help to optimize my environment and help focus me on just having more energy throughout the day, being inspired. I've also got my vision board too here in my office. With my vision board, I can focus on, I can see that every day while I'm jumping up and down on this rebounder. So I'm gonna hop on it right now and show you guys a little bit how it works, some of the benefits of it. But all you do is just bounce up and down like this. And I do this while I'm doing the next segment of my morning ritual. Now, as I'm jumping up and down like this, even though it looks silly, right now my body, is made up of trillions of cells. Every cell is getting a workout. Every cell right now with gravity is almost like flexing in some way. And it strengthens your cells, it helps to eliminate toxins, it helps to eliminate lymph, stimulates the lymphatic system, because oftentimes they also call one of these a lymphocyzer, so it helps to get rid of lymph, but also gives you a lot of energy, because when you're bouncing on this, you're taking in a lot more oxygen, it gets you in an incredible state, and I swear by these, that's why I've got 2 of them, and I do these every single day and all throughout the day as well, just to give me a boost of energy. But one of the next things I do as part of my ritual is, as I'm bouncing up and down like this, I like to ask myself empowering questions. This is really useful for your mind and conditioning your emotions. And so as I'm bouncing up and down, I'll ask myself questions like, what am I grateful for in my life? And when I do this, I like to actually speak it out loud. I don't like just to internally do it in my mind. I like to say out loud, what am I grateful for? And then I'll speak as I'm jumping up and down, as I'm enjoying the incredible view, as I'm looking at my vision board or whatever it is. I'll just say whatever comes up. I'm so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful to be able to live in this incredible city. I'm so grateful to be able to benefit from all these incredible technologies and resources in my life that help me be at my best and have the most amount of energy, the best mindset possible. I'm so grateful for having an online business and the opportunity that provides and the lifestyle that it provides. I'm so grateful for my incredible girlfriend. I'm so grateful for my family. I'm so grateful for my health, my body. And when I do it, I really try to feel it and flood myself with all the things that I can be grateful for. And then I'll move on to maybe another question. I might ask myself, what am I happy about in my life? What's something I'm really happy about? Now, whatever comes up, I'm happy for the vision that I've been able to create, what I've been able to create so far in my life. I'm happy about my relationship, the love, the passion that I have. I'm happy about the progress I'm making in my body, working with my personal trainer and, making progress in that area. I'm happy about my business, the growth that I have there. So I flood myself with what I'm happy for. Whatever emotion I want to experience more of, I have a question for it. If you want more passion in your life, ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What can I be passionate about? And focus on it. Spend a few minutes answering that every single day. So if I were to answer that, I'm passionate about my health, I'm passionate about my body, I'm passionate about working out and eating healthy foods so that I can be at my absolute best. I'm passionate about my business and every day learning new things and getting to do what I love and creating an awesome lifestyle, be able to share and serve and help others. I'm passionate about my relationship with Tatiana, the love that we share, the travel, the adventures that we get to experience. So if you want passion, condition that every day. It's like a muscle, guys. You got to condition it every single day. If you want confidence, what am I confident about? How can I be more confident today? If you want more inner peace, what peace do I have in my life? What can I feel peaceful about? How can I feel peace right now in this moment? Who do I love in my life? Who can I give to? How can I contribute? These are all questions I ask every single day, part of the day, depending on what I need. How can I grow today? How can I get the most out of today? When you ask questions, you're directing your focus. And whatever you focus on, you're going to move towards. Okay? So I'll spend about 5 minutes doing that, jumping up and down, exactly as I demonstrated, asking myself these questions, speaking it out loud, When I speak it out loud, I'm speaking with energy, with enthusiasm, with like I actually feel it and mean it, okay? That's a really important part of the process. If you just ask, oh, what am I grateful for, and you just give an answer, but you're not feeling the emotion, then you're not going to benefit from it. The key to this is to elicit the emotion and feel it in your body. And then what I often do as well is I like to anchor it. I like to do something unique. My anchor that I have is I clench my fist, or I'll snap my fingers, or maybe I'll clap my hands together. And what it does is it associates that emotion, that feeling, to that anchor. So in any other moment of my life, if I want to pull and call upon that emotion of confidence, of passion, of gratitude, of happiness, of joy, of laughter, of fun, then I can just set off that anchor, and because I've conditioned it so much, I can trigger and I can access that emotion. Now, another thing that I do as I'm jumping up and down on my rebounder, and you don't have to have a rebounder, maybe you've got a treadmill. I've got a treadmill desk here. Maybe it's going out for a walk outside. I like to always switch it up at different times too, but rebounder I just found is more beneficial for me in terms of energy and the benefits I get more than those things. Here I've got these cards, and what I've done is I've taken empowering affirmations that I put here and I write out on these cards. And I like to speak them out loud with enthusiasm and energy and intensity while I'm jumping up and down. So I'll speak usually each card at least 3 times. I don't go through the whole deck. I've got over 100 here. I've got even more elsewhere. But I'll speak each one 3 times. I'll spend usually maybe 5 minutes doing this. I've also got quotes. I like to collect quotes from inspirational figures, people throughout history, amazing people that I look up to. And I take down quotes and things they've said, and I write them down on these cards, and then I speak them out loud to myself as well, because I want to integrate that wisdom or that knowledge or that belief system into my mindset as well. Whether that's from Gandhi or Mother Teresa or Tony Robbins or what are the, Nelson Mandela or Buddha or Jesus or these incredible figures throughout history. I want to integrate their beliefs, their mindset into my psychology so that I can benefit from that. So what I do today shapes my day and creates my tomorrow. What I do today creates my day and shapes my tomorrow. What I do today creates my day and shapes my tomorrow. Questions are the directing force of focus. Questions are the directing force of focus. Questions are the directing force of focus. What we focus on is our experience of life. Our focus equals our reality. What we focus on is our experience of life. Our focus equals our reality. Every experience benefits me by giving me additional resources and new distinctions. Every experience benefits me by giving me additional resources and new distinctions. How's that for a belief? Who couldn't need more of that in their life? So I go through the list, I'll share a few more. Nothing has any meaning except for the meaning that I give it. Commitment creates power. Commitment creates congruence. Let's see. As simple as I love my life. And I'll say that, guys, like I mean it. I love my life. I love my life. I love my life. I say it with a smile. I say it with the emotion so that I'm congruent with it. Here's a great one from Gandhi. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, and then they fight you, and then you win. It's a great quote. Another one by Gandhi. You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, it does not become dirty. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Let's see what else I got here I could share with you guys. I've got ones around health, shifting my beliefs around health. Healthy food is a gift and reward that I give myself every day. Healthy food is a gift and reward that I give myself every day. I accomplish anything I put my mind to. God's delays are not God's denials. What I do every day will determine my self-esteem and happiness. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. It's by Bruce Lee. I always focus on and find the good in everything. I always focus on and find the good in everything. God isn't interested in my convenience, He's interested in my character. All I need is within me now. It's a great one. There is no remedy for love but to love more. It's by Henry David Thoreau. I've decided to stick with love. Hate is too great of a burden to bear. Martin Luther King Jr. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Martin Luther King Jr. So you can see by this, guys, I'm uploading these beliefs into my brain. And when you do this every day, it's like you're choosing these beliefs. You're putting in these positive, empowering belief system software into your computer. And it really makes a difference all throughout your life, because I might be going through a hard time, whatever, but I read this, I remind myself of this times throughout my life, these things that really stick with me. I often quote different things when I'm speaking in front of the camera or with friends or whatever it is. It's because of the time I spend uploading these things to my brain, this incredible wisdom and knowledge. It only takes 5 minutes a day. So I found that to be an incredible thing that's really helped me with my mindset and my belief system. So affirmations, getting out cards, things like this, conditioning, training your muscles or training your mental muscles through this process as well. All right, guys, so there's a few more things I do as part of my ritual. I will mention I don't do everything here every single day. Sometimes I do everything here on this list. Other times I do a shorter ritual. As I said, sometimes I do a 15-minute ritual, 30 minutes, an hour. Sometimes I do 2 hours, depending on what I really want to focus on and do. So this is my ideal ritual, but I wouldn't say I do this every single day. Some of these things are bonuses, just as a way to integrate and really develop new skills that I want to have in my life. So for example, one of the things I have here is to practice coaching skills and NLP techniques on myself. So I'm a big fan of NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. I'm an NLP practitioner. I've studied it quite a bit and I practice it. When you learn coaching skills, when you learn NLP, when you learn anything in life, it doesn't have as much value if you don't practice it, if you don't apply it every day. And if you want to get good at something, you've got to practice it every day. And that's how I've gotten good at the current skill set that I have now, whether that's coaching, whether that's public speaking, whether that's creating content, writing. It's because I've had rituals. So if you want to develop skills in your life, add that to your morning ritual. Spend 15 minutes doing that, 30 minutes. If you want to get better at a language, let's say you want to learn Spanish, well, add that to your morning ritual. I'm going to spend 15 minutes every morning practicing Spanish. Or if you want to get better at writing, then spend 15 minutes every morning writing, maybe writing a blog. If you want to get better at speaking, spend 15 minutes practicing speaking skills that you might have learned. And so that's why I like to spend part of my ritual really developing skills, okay, practicing it. Just like a professional athlete, an actor, anyone that's great at anything, they practice it every single day. Okay, that's how you develop talent, that's how you develop skill. So practice NLP skills. There's certain techniques that I have of visualization, how I represent things to myself that I'll do, whether it's making images, making them bigger and brighter, bring them close towards me. Sometimes it's anchoring, developing a skill of that. Sometimes it's interrupting my pattern. If I've got a certain negative belief or behavior that I want to shift, I might spend time, whether that's binge eating or laziness or procrastination, I'll spend 15 minutes going through exercises. And when I do that, I'm also developing that skill set even further. So I'll spend time working on some skill generating activities, part of my morning ritual. Another one, for example, is my public speaking skills. So I have here practice public speaking and speaking transcripts for 10 minutes. So one thing I like to do is I find great speakers, okay, incredible speakers out there in the world throughout history, as well as modern speakers, and I'll find a video or an audio of them and I'll get it transcribed. And I'll pay someone to transcribe it, and then I have the transcript, I print it out, and then I practice speaking out loud. I imagine myself in front of an audience, in front of a camera, whatever that might be, and I speak it and I say out loud the words from the transcript. And as I'm speaking, I'm trying to develop my communication. I'm trying to develop how I articulate things. I'm trying to emphasize certain words. I'm using my body language, eye contact, trying to speak and communicate with emotion. And so I practice that every day, okay, when I want to develop that skill. And that translates to other areas of my life, my business, my personal life, meeting people, socializing. So I like to practice that, those skills. Another thing I often do is I review notes from seminars I might have attended or from my Kindle book. So often when you read a book, you go to a seminar, you're getting all these notes, all these things that stand out to you. But one thing I noticed about myself, I was learning all this stuff, I was writing it down, but I wasn't reviewing it. I just kind of forget about it. I went to a seminar, I got this great book on it, and I took all these notes, but I never looked at it again. So I decided, I've got to have a ritual every day where I review what I've learned. If I went to this seminar, I want to make sure for the next 30 days, I'm reviewing my notes. I'm just integrating, uploading it to my mind. Or if I'm reading things on my Kindle, I highlight things and I go through those notes and I just review what I've learned. Because the more that you can review what you've learned, the more you're going to integrate that into your mindset and the more it's going to benefit you. All right, guys, so far I've already done a lot and I'm almost done, but there's a few more things I do that are pretty key and critical as part of my morning ritual. So oftentimes, once I've done the things for my mind, body, and spirit, when I'm transitioning into more work mode, okay, and actually being productive for the day, working on my business and whatnot, what I like to do as kind of the last thing as part of my ritual is to plan out the day. And I find there's benefit of doing this like right before you're transitioning to work mode versus like early on. Because when I plan out my day, I get excited about my outcomes, what I need to do. That's when I start to focus in on business and work mode and switch gears. And so that's why I like to do that a little bit later on in my ritual. So what I do is I often use my computer for this. And you can also use journals and whatnot. I like to write it out sometimes too. But I usually open up Evernote on my computer and I write out what is my outcome for the day. And often I'll have more than one, maybe 3 outcomes for the day. I'll have an outcome maybe for my body that I want to improve that, or I might have an outcome for my relationship, or I might have certain outcomes for my business. I like to follow the RPM method by Tony Robbins that he teaches in his Time of Your Life program, which helps you focus on the outcome, why you want it, and then what are the actions that you need to take in order to achieve that outcome. And so I make my action plan for the day, and then here's the key that I've found that really simplifies productivity, at least for me. Every day, I don't try to get everything done. Okay, I know it's impossible for me to get everything done on my list. I've got this never-ending list. Throughout the day, there's more things I'm adding to it. So that's never my criteria of a productive day, a successful day. You're just gonna drive yourself crazy. You're gonna get really stressed out trying to do it all. So instead what I do is I ask myself, okay, out of all these things here that I could do today to make progress towards these outcomes, what are the 3 most important things? What are the 3 most important, highest leverage things that I need to do that are going to make the biggest growth and progress, that if I just do those 3 things today, that today was an awesome day. Today is a day I can look back upon and feel so grateful, so happy for. So for me, it might be, hey, you know what? The most important thing I could do for my body today is to work out. Or the most important thing I could do for my business today is to record some videos. Or maybe it's to coach this client, or maybe it's creating content for this, or maybe it's working on this project, right? And I find just simplifying the highest leverage, most important things, people get caught up in things that don't really matter, that don't make the biggest difference. And often, early on in the day, you want to eat the frog. You want to do the most important things. Emails, social media, all that stuff that doesn't really make that much of a difference in my business or my life, I like to save that for later in the day. I have the most amount of energy now. I just did this awesome ritual. I want to put that energy and that focus and attention on things that are really valuable and important. They're going to manifest and yield the biggest results. So, man, if it's something that's hard that I've been putting off, now is the best time to do that. It's not a good idea to waste the time and energy doing emails and all that stuff. So whether that's creating content, whether that's working on this project, I like to use that energy that I've just created for my ritual to focus in on that. Okay, so I plan out my day, 3 most important things. If by the end of the day I did nothing else but those 3 things, today was a great day. I celebrate that, and I really acknowledge myself for that. My philosophy is if every day you do 3 important things over the course of a month, that's incredible amount of progress that you've made. And I always find a way to get the emails done, all that stuff too. That's just more later on in the day. Often, again, like I said, emails can kind of put you on a path of reactive. You know, things come up and all of a sudden hours have gone by throughout the day and you're like, what did I even do? I didn't even get done what was important to me. I didn't get done and make progress that I wanted to make today. I got caught up in responding to other people's questions and other people's things and dealing with all that. So being proactive every day, that's what this whole thing is about, guys. Being proactive, planning out the day. Maybe you're scheduling, I schedule in, okay, I'm gonna work on this project from this time to this time, any appointments that I might have, and I like to just zone in on that. Now, questions that you guys might have, what you might be thinking is, well, Stefan, when do you eat? When do you have breakfast? What do you have for breakfast? Well, I actually do intermittent fasting, and so I usually fast 14 to 16 hours a day. And that's why I don't really have breakfast in the morning. Usually my first meal oftentimes might be around noon. And what I've found from this, because I used to, have 6 meals a day and follow that program, and I still do that at times. I want to make it clear, I cycle things at different times. Right now I'm doing intermittent fasting though. But what I do is I delay that meal, maybe around noon, maybe even 2 o'clock, depending on when I went to bed or my last meal the day before. But then I have my meal, and I maybe have 3 meals for the day, but it's more in afternoon, the evening time. And what the intermittent fasting has provided for me is it gives me a lot of energy, because the moment you start eating food, your body has to digest it. And your digestion process is going to expend a lot of your energy. And also there's benefits to intermittent fasting for increasing testosterone, for fat loss benefits, a lot of good benefits for it. You guys can look that up if you want. But that's why oftentimes I don't have my breakfast till a little bit later on. Usually though, my first meal, so either if I'm doing intermittent fasting or if I'm doing the 6 meal a day protocol, usually my first meal will be a protein shake, some sort of smoothie that I make with my Vitamix blender. And oftentimes what I put in, based on the program that I'm following, the diet that I'm following, but often it's just water. It's 2 scoops of plant-based protein. Okay, so usually around 30 grams of good quality protein. I avoid the whey proteins and the processed proteins and dairy type proteins and all that sort of stuff. I want plant-based, raw, bioavailable protein that's the highest quality that I can assimilate and get the most benefit from. So I'll have plant-based protein in there. I'll put in some fruit like blueberries, usually something that's low glycemic, and I'll put in a good source of fat. Usually it's Udo's oil, which is a good source of omega-3s. It's a good perfect ratio of omega-3 6-9s. I put in a tablespoon of that. Usually that's it. I might put in some cinnamon or something, but usually that's it for my breakfast. Sometimes I might put in some other foods. I might put in some superfoods. I might throw in some greens and maca root and spirulina and different things like that. So depending on what diet or program you're following, there is a benefit of just getting good quality nutrition in your diet. And the great thing is when you blend it, then your body doesn't have to spend time digesting it as much. And so it's a lot easier for you to get energy from it. Often what I do also before that, I forgot to mention, is I have juices. I'm a big fan of quality cold pressed juices. Not the juices that you find at the store that have preservatives in it, that's just all sugar water. I avoid that. I want plant-based juices that are cold pressed, they're primarily greens and vegetables with very small amount of sugar. Okay, so it might be, for example, kale and spinach and broccoli and parsley and cilantro and ginger and lemon, and then maybe a little bit of apple or a little bit of pineapple. Okay, you can't go overboard with the sugar, but the great thing about juicing is your body doesn't have to digest it. You're eliminating and extracting the fiber from that. So it goes right into your bloodstream. You get an immediate boost of energy from it, cleanses your body. I like to break my fast usually with some juicing first thing before I have my smoothie, okay? So that's usually what I do around that. Sometimes I might have some oatmeal with some protein and some berries in that too. So I like to switch it up. But the key here thing, guys, is just do something good for your body, whatever program you're gonna follow of diet, nutrition, but it's the best time to consume healthy foods that will give you energy. avoid the processed junk, the muffins, the donuts, all those things that deplete your energy. You might get a sugar boost from that, but then you crash. I avoid that stuff as much as possible. I usually avoid caffeine as much as possible because I don't like to be dependent on that. I found in the past you build a tolerance to it, you need more and more and more. When you don't have it certain days, you crash, you don't have any energy, you have withdrawal symptoms. So caffeine for me, it's a once in a while thing. Usually it might be a matcha green tea, but I don't like to build a dependency on that because then you get to the point, people are drinking 4 cups of coffee a day. It's just not sustainable, right? Because the 1 cup doesn't do it for them anymore, and then they crash, they just need more of it. So I try to avoid getting caught up into that as much as possible. Often then what I do, you might be asking, what about workout? What about exercise? So for me personally, that comes in 2 different ways. Sometimes I'll do cardio on an empty stomach, okay, on a fasted cardio essentially is what it's called. So sometimes I might go outside, I might go down to a treadmill downstairs in my building, and I'll just do at least 20 minutes of cardio. And the great thing is sometimes I switch it up, and as I'm doing my cardio, I'll ask myself the questions, or I might do my affirmations instead of the rebounder for that. So sometimes I do that, okay, depending on the program I'm following. And then also when I do my weightlifting, I like to do that at least an hour after having my first meal of the day. So usually I work out, sometimes if I'm eating 6 meals a day and having my first meal earlier, let's say I have it at 9 o'clock, then I'll maybe work out at 10 o'clock and add that into my ritual then. If I'm having my first meal doing intermittent fasting, maybe around noon or 1 or 2 o'clock, then I'll do my workout an hour or 2 after that. So I usually like to structure my weightlifting because I like to have some good source of fuel, good source of carbohydrates in my body to help support the workout that I'm doing. So I'll usually do that based when I do my meal. I've also got a personal trainer that I work with, so sometimes it's based on that too. But I always work out every day. That's part of my ritual every single day, making sure I condition, take good care of my body for that also. And I'm gonna wrap up here soon, guys, but the other key things that I wanna mention is switch things up. Don't do the same thing every day. Maybe you might do something for like 30 days, you stick to it but maybe 30 days after that, switch it up, because otherwise you're gonna get bored. Otherwise, it's gonna lose that variety for you. And I've been doing this now for over 14 years, different rituals. So I've been through moments where I'm doing it every day, I love it, and I've also had times in my life where I just lose that momentum. And I think the key thing for me now is I love it. Like, this is an addiction for me. It's not something that requires work or effort or is a chore. I look forward to this. There's no better way of spending my time, in my opinion, than going through rituals like this to connect with yourself, to love yourself. This is an act of self-love. This is one of the greatest gifts that you can give to yourself, to show and demonstrate that you really love yourself, you're taking care of yourself, you're making progress in all areas of your life by doing this. And you've got to make the time for it. You've got to make it a must. If you got to wake up earlier, then that's what it takes, but sometimes I switch it up. I switch it up in the exercises that I do. I switch up the order of things. Just like working out at the gym, you got to change it up once in a while if you want to make it last, okay? And making the time, again, is key. But again, sometimes I do 15 minutes, sometimes based on what I've got going on in the day. If I'm traveling, I switch it up based on that too. And then I'll also mention, I modify my ritual based on what I really need at that stage of my life, or what I've really got going on. For example, if I'm really focused on fitness, I've got a fitness competition that I'm working on, then my rituals might be different. Maybe I'll watch some inspirational videos, 10 minutes a day, of fitness related stuff to get myself in that mindset. Maybe I'll track and prepare my meals in some way. If I'm working on this business project or finances, maybe my rituals will be more based on conditioning my mindset for my business and motivating me for that. If I've got a speech that I'm giving or an event that I'm hosting, then oftentimes I'll modify my ritual to prepare me for that. Maybe I'll do vocal exercises, or I'll practice some of my content, my material, and get ready and prepared for that. My belief systems around public speaking, around serving, about making a difference. So there's no one ritual I can give that's going to work for everyone. You've got to be able to adapt. You've got to be able to create your own custom rituals at different times of your life. Hopefully what I've shared with you guys here shows my ritual. You can take elements of that if you want. integrate it to your life. But this is what I do right now. This is what works for me. Hey man, I've been, done videos like this 5 years ago, and it's changed, it's evolved. But the one thing that's consistent is something for my body, my mind, and my spirit. And that's what I focus on teaching inside Morning Ritual Mastery. That's what I want for you. You do this, guys, it will change your life beyond levels you can possibly even imagine. People are gonna look at you every day and be like, what happened to you, man? You're such a different person. You got more energy, you're happier, you got more motivation, you're getting more done. You're going to attract people into your life differently. If you're single, you're going to attract someone totally different in your life when you're happy, when you're on fire in your life, versus when you're always stressed out or you got these limiting beliefs that are holding you back. By doing this, it gives me energy to be more productive for my business. I achieve more, and I enjoy the process of my life a lot more also. So hopefully you guys benefited from this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys apply what I'm shared here, and it gives you guys a transparent idea of what I do every day as part of my morning ritual. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.